Greetings of perfect peace. Shalom Aleichem and Salam Alachem. I'm Elder Vance. I'm in studio today in the real world of ShalomDome. I am Elder Vance of YHWHY. I am a servant of Yahuah and His salvation, deliverance, Savior, His Yahshua. Yahuah is salvation. And so many of you around this earth, you see the water behind me? It is a flat earth. We want to stay away from ticks and politics. Go away, my friend. Bye-bye. So, I encourage royal families to first study their scriptures. And whether or not you are a diligent student and know the great importance of all of the Kodesh scriptures, or if you just dive into it once in a while in your King Jimmy, this message is for you. We are going to be looking at different topics, but many talk about the Creator. But today I'm going to, on a beautiful day like this, the Ruakodesesh is having me speak about the counterfeit of Him, where the scriptures state that the Messiah Himself gave warnings. Do you know what those warnings are? Do you know what the prophets said about the great deception in this time? And the 99 lambs, sheep, that have grown up and have lost that meh, and they are assuming in what they've been taught and herded, and they have been force-fed a false shepherd's name. Do you know who that false shepherd is that we have been warned about? So I am going to pull out what is most important. This is our offensive weapon. We have the scriptures today. I bring the Et Sefer along, but in this beautiful location it is quite heavy. So I love to read from the scriptures, and this is from many years, and it's brightly colored. Be diligent and show yourself approved in the Word. So, as we in the world have been warned of a deceiver, however, I've never met anybody that says I'm under deception. Now, many that you've heard this video have heard me repeat that, but I want you to think about it. If you know that it is a deception, then it is no longer a deception. And if you are calling on the Goyim, the names of the deity of the nations, God or El Ord, or you have Chem, that's not his name. That means the name. It means master. So the names that we have inherited, whether it is in your King James or whether it is in the Quran, the name has been covered up. Now, in the Quran, for all of the credit of the sons of Ishmael, they have it proper in Allah, Elohim. When you look in the book of Daniel, it talks about Eloah. Okay, that is proper. Elohim. Yahuah is the name that has been covered up and have been said that it is anathema or worthy of death to speak the name of the Creator. The name that Adam was created in the image of, even though Yahuah the Father, who all things exist through and in him, it was created by one, his salvation, who was with him in the beginning. And through him all things were made that have been made. And in him was Kai, life. And that life was the light of men. And when the light entered into the world and tabernacled with us, the world didn't understand. Why? Because at that time, as well today, they were not calling on the name of Yahuah. They were calling on a name of another. Now, I'll let lots of debate about who that other one is. Are they still around today? Scriptures state they are eternal beings that lost their bodies in the flood of Noah, yet they truly are eternal beings. And it also says they must go to and fro in arid, cold places, searching for a host to inhabit. And that host has an open door because they do not know of the Torah of Yahuah. Now, most in the extran churches, they have the New Testament. They have the four Gospels, Matthew, Mark, Luke, and Yochanan. Matthew and Yochanan were disciples. Mark and Lucas were of the 70 sent out ones. Every single one of those 70 men and one woman. And I will explain that at another time, but according to the sons of Yaakov, he had 12 sons, but there was also a daughter in there that was defiled by Shechem. And if you have ever heard of the harlot washing the feet of the Messiah, and you have no idea who that young lady is, and I will say she is absolutely a disciple. Her name was Miriam, not to be confused with Miriam, the mother of Messiah, who in all prophecy fulfilled. Please go back to the other videos that I've put throughout the years. Please like and subscribe, because you know what? It's a thankless job. I get very lot of criticism from those that are defending their position of the deity of the nations. And they bleat at me as I give meh. I will tell folks over and over, Yahuah, save me. Meh. So go back to the Psalm 23 And there is a lot deeper meaning to Yahuah is my shepherd. I shall be in want, addiction for nothing, because I know he's going to provide for me. He takes me and sets me down in green pastures. And we feed on his word diligently. And then he takes us to the water that is the Mayim Hayim of the Ruakodesesh that cleanses us through immersion, mikveh, to be tovald, and to be set apart clean. And by the way, this is not a once done forever. No, this is as you go through the seasons, into the feasts, and into the festivals. You must cleanse yourself because the adversary searches about as a lion, seeking that who he can devour. But I will tell you that adversary is afraid of me. All he can do is censor my voice on YouTube through not being able to show my stuff through the algorithms. It is not against me. It is because they are against the one that I serve. They are against the name of Yahuah. They raid temples. They have their archaeologists, and they go in and they do all their scientific mumbo-jumbo. And the archaeology, you can go to the museums and you can see all the things those really smart scientists have done. But if you look around and if you could only know what's in the basement of those museums, they're full of dead men's bones. The problem is, it wasn't theirs. They are tomb raiders, treasure hunters, grave diggers, all over the place. And they have rewritten history. Why? It is because they worship another mighty one. And it doesn't matter which one, which name of the pantheon. Kesh said in Acts chapter 3 through 4, he says, there is no other name under the Shamayim, the heavens, or on the earth, the Eretz, given to mankind other than that of Yeshua. If that is being suppressed by the Google algorithms, there is judgments coming. And those judgments, all those God-fearing people, they even read their scriptures. They even go back into the Old Testament. But if over 7,800 times in the Old Testament alone, in the Tanakh, that his Kodesh name has been changed to the name and title of another, Lord. Who is that character that all the folks of earth are calling upon? Who is this God? And I will tell you, this is what says. It says that in the beginning there was a deceiver, and this is before Adam was created. These entities, all the Ruakoth were created, and that was before the time that Adam was built, in those 7 days. On the last day, the end of Yahuah's creation, on the end of the 6th day, Makael called all of creation, all of the Ruach, and said to worship the image of Yahuah. And those that we know in the pantheon, they are named in the book of Hanakh. They are so covered over that you don't know their names. They are eternal beings, and they are running the show in corporations, in governments, institutions of every kind. And you look at the lowest common denominator, it says on their money, all the worldly currency, in blank we trust, proving to themselves, just as they did before the crucifixion upon a tree. Just before that, you have lost sight, America, because if you don't have his name, there is no salvation. His name, Yahshua. Now, in the next videos, we are going to be looking at the name of the true Creator. And we're going to look at the deceiver, because it is very important. I love you all in the Ruach HaKodesh. Be filled, be bold in the name of Yahshua, because there's no other name you can go into the throne. And if you deny that name, he said he will deny you before his Father in the Shamayim. The Eretz, the earth, is without end. Le'olam va'ed. We have 7 days of creation, and we have a day is like 1,000 years, and 1,000 years is like a day. This generation has no idea of the book of Jubilees and its importance, but moreover, the principle of 50s. It is 7 times 7. So you have 49 plus a Kodesh 1, making a 50, just as it would be from the day of the first Rosh Chodesh Aviv of the year, and then you count it out. You have the Pesach, you have the first fruits, and you have the Shimi Acharetz, the end of that feast 8 days later. So when does the counting of the Omer start? When you scripturally look at it, and all of the others. We do know that Noah kept the feast of Sukkot, tabernacled, and that is in the book of Yasher and the book of Jubilees. So these are facts that are missing from the narrative. And if they are missing from the narrative, the deception, you'll fall for anything. Do not call on the names of other mighty ones. Jesus, really? Is that the Greek deity of the nations that took the Messiah to the pinnacle of the temple? Said, throw yourself off? Is it the same one that said, look at these rocks here? You can turn them into bread. He took him to a high mountain, Hermon, to look out and said, worship me and I'll give you all of that. Meaning he had that authority as the deity of the nations. And that entity that was tempting Mashiach, Yahuah, son of Miriam, He had authority on earth. So, do not think that this generation can't be deceived. Do not think that this generation is that generation that is described in so many of the verses that talk about quite frankly, a wicked and rebellious generation, self-seeking, self-gratification, and every bit of it is selfish. And I will tell you that is a vanity. If you are saying, oh, God bless me, oh, God forgive me, honestly, do you think he would be forgiving your iniquity over and over and over? Yes, he is able to do that, but you are not keeping his commandments, whatever it is. You have a seared conscience, and that is the reason that you must go back into the Scriptures. Order a restored names version, whether it is the Scriptures out of South Africa, whether it is the Et Sefer, or whether it is any of the other restored names that use the name of Yahuah. Hallelujah, Scriptures. And they use the name, many in the original Ivrit. And if you have every time the name of Yahuah replaced by Lord, you will miss everything. And all of that Old Testament and the New Testament is null and void, because honestly, you do not believe in the name of who is sent for salvation. And you have believed a lie, calling upon the one that deceived Hava and Adam in the Garden of Eden. And they were cast out to this place that is in control of the deity of the nations, apparently. And he has traumatized mankind ever since. And remember, it is not Yahuah that tempts any man. There is one that tempts. Now, we're going to look into the word Hasatan, the adversary, my adversary from Yahuah's point of view. He is a deceiver. He seeks those that he can devour. He comes to kill, steal, and destroy. Wow, that sounds like a whole history channel of the various yurches. Wake up. Wake up from this world. Come out of Babylon. Call upon the name of Yahuah in a pristine place like this that is quiet from noise and from communication of a boggled world. Sit and listen to the birds, to the water. Smell the earth, because all of these are a testament of Yahuah. In the same way, the blood that runs through our bodies is a testament that it was Adam that was created in the image of YHWHY, that came in perfect manner. He is the second Adam. Therefore, if he says he is the son of Adam, he truly is the able one to forgive all sins, and the other one in the world, well, really, honestly, wants to have a barbecue, and you are on the menu. Many, my friend and Messiah, Yahshua, said to his taught ones in Matthew 24, and he gives a great description of these perilous times that all are coming together, just like many of the other prophets. But he says at the end of that, in that day many shall come to me, saying, Lord, in the English tongue, not calling on the name. And they say, did we not prophesy in your name? The answer is no. He says, away from me, you workers of iniquity. I never knew you. You never knew me. You never called on my name. I never have or have not introduced you to my Father